Hey, Facebook, YouTube, it's me, Fawn, and I wanted to first congratulate Ben, Shelly, and Lynda Lovejoy on their win this past week with primaries and wish them both good luck come November. That being said, I did vote for Lynda Lovejoy in the primaries, but hold your horses. I'm not sure just yet who I'm going to be voting for in November. So my vote could go either way. I could go vote for Ben Shelly, and I could decide to stick with Lynda Lovejoy. And that's because I believe they're both really great candidates. And it's all going to come down to their campaign and what they plan to do when they take office. Okay. That being said, I wanted to go ahead and talk about this week's issue of Time magazine. 18-year-old Afghan Aisha ran away from her abusive in-laws and her abusive husband. And for that, as punishment, the Taliban ordered her husband to cut off her nose and her ears so that she could be made as an example to other girls who are trying to do the same thing. And this, according to their tradition, traditional ways do little for women in this country. And it's really sad that this happens based on tradition. Another thing that happens that's based on tradition, I am the Jude, age 10 and divorced. 10 years old and she's divorced. At 8 years old, her father married her off to a 30-year-old man who abused her in so many ways, I'm not even going to say, as did his family, her in-laws. And 3 months later, she summons the courage up to run away, and she gets to the courts and demands a divorce. Wow, this little girl is brave. This gal here is brave. Telling their story and putting themselves on the cover of a book in a magazine, it's just not done. And if it's done, you're really just putting bright red mark on your forehead, because you become a target. And hopefully, we can do what we can to protect these women, because what they are doing is advocating for change and progress in these countries so that other women don't suffer the same fate. And that's powerful. And I hope that it does bring change, because this needs to happen. It needs to stop. It doesn't only happen in Middle Eastern countries. It happens in all over the world, in other third world countries. This is half the sky, and what it is about turning oppression into opportunity for women worldwide. These are stories from women all over, from Africa, India, in other Asian countries as Cambodia, Thailand. In a lot of these underdeveloped countries, these women face all these tribal and cultural beliefs where they're believed to be property and not people. They don't have rights. If you go and steal a goat, a man will go to jail. If a man kidnaps and does whatever horrific events he does with these women, he gets away with it. There's no accountability. And it's really sad. And then after that, these women are stigmatized and put down, and a lot of them, are so ashamed that they kill themselves, or someone kills them, or what have you. It's really sad that this happens in third world countries. But it's not only, although oppression happens to women in these third world countries, it's not, it still happens today, now, even in our own country. And it might not be as severe as what these women go through, but we still face oppression, and that's evidenced in these recent elections. That's where Fawn's going with this, okay? I've been reading a lot and hearing a lot on Facebook and out here in the real world from people saying that if a woman becomes president, that the world's going to come to an end based on a traditional belief that was started, I don't know how long ago, and by whom. It could have been some male or female misogynist person who started this and then passed it on and carried it on to oppress women so that they could keep us barefoot and pregnant and uneducated and submissive to men. It's really sad that this is happening, and I'm not going to be so dull to say that the tornado and the floods going on is because Lynda Lovejoy is running for president. That's really sad, because women are our most underutilized resource, and there's so much potential for me, for any woman, and our children, our daughters, and we're really hurting ourselves and harming our future by oppressing the female. It's just, let me say here, okay? Gender inequality hurts economic growth, okay? Progress is achieved through women, because what research is finding is women's empowerment helps raise economic productivity. It contributes to improved health and nutrition. It increases the chances of education for the next generation. How can we afford to not put women in leadership positions? How can we afford it? It's really bad that we're doing this to ourselves. And I just want to say, if you're not going to vote for Lynda Lovejoy, do it because you believe in Ben Shelly's campaign and because he's got experience with the president's office and so on and so forth. But don't vote for him because Lynda Lovejoy's a woman and based on this traditional belief. Because tradition and culture and some of these, this is what tradition and culture does in some countries. And we've come a long way from that. We really have. And I hope people are smart about their decision when they vote and not base it on gender. Base it on the person's character, their campaign, and what you're going to do to help that leader. Because we can't just rely solely on them and make them make change. We have to change ourselves. It's as simple as that. So be smart. Don't be dull. That's all I gotta say. Bye.